150 million Americans on TikTok, and 90% of those people are not going to follow through on their New Year's resolution. I tend to wonder, why is that? Maybe it's because our New Year starts in the dead of fucking winter. Yeah, that probably has something to do with it. The fact that most of us went to public school and had to sit in fucking disgustingly uncomfortable chairs that would turn our asses off for 12 fucking years, that might have something to do with it. Or maybe the fact that nearly all the food that we eat is either nutrient deficient or legitimately poison. Yeah, that might have something to fucking do with it. I'm feeling some fucking type of way today, guys. So if you want my advice on how to set a goal and actually achieve it, here we go. Step number 1, don't start it on the new year, okay? January 31st, not a great time to be starting a New Year's resolution. Number 1, it's the dead of winter. But more importantly, it's not synced up with our nature. Now, if we're talking about start, stop, beginnings, endings, we're looking at gate 41 in the I Ching. And gate 41 doesn't happen until January 22nd. So start your New Year's resolutions on January 22nd. See if you don't get more done. Thing number 2, people are actually planning too big, okay? They're dreaming too small, but they're planning too big. Here's what I mean. Most people underestimate what they can do in 10 years and they overestimate what they can do in a year. This equates to setting a New Year's resolution of I'm gonna go to the gym for an hour and a half every morning, 7 days a week. Bruh, too much. Too fucking much. Especially if you're going cold turkey. Like if you don't already go to the gym and you don't already have a practice going on there and you're like, now suddenly I'm going to do this thing. Like your body doesn't even believe you. Start with something reasonable and doable. I'm gonna go to the gym for half an hour, 3 days a week, instead of an hour and a half, 6-7 days a week. When you start your goals small and achievable, you actually start to rack up a lot of wins because they're a lot easier to accomplish rather than these big, massive goals that if you don't meet them, they kind of throw you completely off course. For instance, with meditation, I don't recommend you start meditating an hour a day or even half an hour a day, especially if you don't meditate. What I recommend is that you meditate for 5 minutes every day, because that's something you can do every day, especially in the morning before all the other shit happens. That was step number 2. Make them small so that way you can build momentum and actually achieve greater things over time. Now, number 3, don't fucking tell social media about it, okay? Don't put this big thing out there that's going to create all of this external pressure for you to prove yourself or any of that shit. Just don't. Do it quietly, do it for yourself. Connect to the real reason why you're doing it. That's going to provide you a lot more fuel than some random strangers on the internet saying, wow, good job, I'm proud of you. Stop doing that. Do it for yourself. And fourth, last but not least, stop comparing yourself to other people. This is why number 3 exists. Because when you compare yourself to other people, you're missing out on what's actually happening, which is your competition with yourself. You just have to be better than you were yesterday. You just have to be a little bit greater than you were yesterday. For me, that's how I know that I'm engaging in practices of self-love. If I look at yesterday and I say, damn, awesome, and honestly, can do better. Today, have done better. Tomorrow, I'll look back, be like, oh, yeah, I could have done better that day. And I'm being honest and compassionate. So those are my tips for setting New Year's resolutions that you're actually able to achieve. The first one is wild, I'll tell you. A lot of people freak out when I say it. They're like, what? It's not on the 31st and 1st? I'm like, no. The Gregorian calendar, similar to the music that we listen to, is slightly off kilter with what's actually natural for our system. Just so ever slightly that it fucks up the majority of the population. But you don't have to adhere to that. You don't have to do things like everybody else is doing them. You can tune into yourself and do things in a way that's unique and specialized for you. That's actually better than everybody else's way of doing it, simply because you're you and you're the only person that can do it that way. Anyway, let me know which rule is your favorite in the comments.